Today we are driving the 2026 Subaru Uncharted. This is the GT model, which means it costs about $46,000. This starts at around $35,000, and the base model is actually available in front-wheel drive. It's the first and only front-wheel drive Subaru since the 1980s, so it's been a long time. This is also the Toyota CHR-BZ, their new second-generation CHR EV. It's a shared platform, shared everything except for a couple Subaru badges, some styling elements, and a few features. However, the Toyota version is all-wheel drive standard, and the Subaru, strangely, for some reason, has a front-wheel drive option. Kind of cool. We've got a 278-mile estimated driving range. However, right now, at 93%, it's telling me I have 205 miles to go, and I've mostly just been driving around the city slowly, so maybe not the most range in this Uncharted. We get a 338 horsepower dual motor all-wheel drive setup here with this GT. It's fast, 0 to 60 under 5 seconds, and a very nice looking interior. It's actually very similar to the Trail Seeker interior that we had last week. We've got lots of Toyota bits, switchgear, buttons, infotainment. Well, it's actually all Toyota in here because, again, this is the CHR. Let's walk outside and show you guys what it looks like. This one is painted in habanero orange, which is a fantastic color. It's a two-tone paint. We've got the roof all blacked out. Interesting looking wheels. I kind of like it. A little bit of a departure from the very kind of sculpted hubcap looking aero wheels that they're putting on a lot of EVs these days. These are 20-inch wheels with a set of 235/50 R20-inch Yokohama tires. Geolander XCV Go57. I'm sure they're very eco-focused and low rolling resistance. All right, there's the back. There's the side. Got this funky little door handle up here. CHR has always kind of had that. Here's your charge port. I like this charge port because it doesn't have an extra thing to open. You just open it and plug it in. And you've got your Tesla NACS port. This will charge at 150 kilowatts, so 10 to 80% in about 28 minutes. Not super slow, but also not super fast, just about average. There's what your front end looks like. Let's show you what storage looks like in the back. Here's your key fob, very much a Toyota key fob. Digital rearview mirror, reverse camera right there. Lots of storage space underneath for charge cables, etc. A little bit smaller size rear cargo space. You've got a little bag here to put your charge adapters. Basically, all of these new Toyota and Subaru EVs are kind of the same, but just pick your styling, pick your size, pick your price point. And it mostly comes down to the amount of space you want behind the driver's seat. This is a little bit cramped, a little bit tighter back here. Floor is kind of higher up. Still though, 5'10", I have enough headroom. I can squeeze back here very comfortably. I get rear climate vents, heated rear seats, a couple USB-C ports, a nice armrest, nice materials. Everything in here feels pretty plush. I like the design of the interior. It seems to be pretty functional aside from everything being in the screen with climate. You get big, easy to access, constant climate icons, which are pretty easy to press and responsive. They work fine. And there's a slew of physical buttons down here. Drive mode selection, X mode all-wheel drive, traction off, brake hold, parking brake, and a camera view. And I actually quite like this shifter after living with the Trail Seeker last week. Is there a front trunk? I don't imagine so, but still, we'll look up there and see what type of situation we have. Yeah, okay, looks about like the Trail Seeker did. It's a funky looking electric crossover. Also kind of reminds me a little bit of the older Nissan Juke. It's kind of about that same size, shape, swooping lines. Let's hop in the driver's seat and show you around this interior just a little bit more, and then we'll take it for a drive and give you guys some driving impressions. So this is an EV. However, it has no form of route planning. Maybe that's why it's called the Uncharted, because you're just going into uncharted territory, road tripping this EV. We don't know, but yeah, so Toyota, Subaru, they need to fix that. Take me to Naples, Florida.
I found Naples. Would you like to go now?
Yes. Okay, good.
Proceed to the highlighted route.
Cool. Yeah, it's just going to take us there. But we're going to run out of battery on the way pretty quickly. So, yeah, no charge stops, nothing like that. Otherwise, you get wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, which works fine, and then that has apps that you can use for route planning, which is probably what you're going to want if you're taking this on a road trip. The rest of it is pretty standard, just good old Toyota infotainment system, which probably should be updated here in the next couple years. You have a lot of different settings, driving assistance settings, that you should probably turn off, because otherwise there's just so much beeping and bonging in this car. It's kind of annoying. There's lane departure, there's pre-collision, there's cross-traffic alert. Every time you have your turn signal on and you let off the brake, heavens forbid, it'll beep at you, telling you there's traffic coming. I know there's traffic coming. I can see it. So there's lots of warnings and things you should probably go in and turn off, just because this is ultimately, underneath it all, a Toyota. But luckily you can do that, which is very nice. We have a slew of forward, side, and reverse cameras showing us what's beneath us. This P button that puts you in park. Center console here. This lid does not come out like it does in some other Toyota models, but that's okay. Nice big panoramic sunroof. I like the look of that. That slides, but the whole visor doesn't, which is fine. Digital rearview mirror, but pretty good view out of that rear window. And no rear wiper, because this is a bit of a sloping compact SUV. We've seen this steering wheel button configuration before. No worries there. And we do get some gauge cluster brightness adjustments, but it only adjusts this in front of you, not the main screen. These buttons should adjust the brightness of everything in the interior all at once, instead of having to go deep into some menus to change things. So Toyota needs to fix that, and so should Subaru. We get auto up-down windows though, on all four corners. I like to see that. 2-seat memory settings, auto high beams, and a button to pop the tailgate. And I assume that's kind of just to wash your front headlights, which is very useful. All right, let's go drive the Subaru Uncharted. We're not going a very far distance today, so we don't need to chart a course. We have this rectangular steering wheel that feels very similar to the C8 Corvette Stingray, Z06, E-Ray, whatever you want to call it. Really nice brake and accelerator calibration with this EV. It's so easy to drive it smoothly. The regenerative braking feels very natural. Dipping into the brake pedal. You can control some level of regen with the paddles behind the wheel. Any level above level 2 will engage the brake lights. And you'll actually see that in this little graphic down there. You'll see 2 little red lights pop up, which is very nice. It does not have one pedal drive, and it doesn't really have enough regenerative force to fully bring you down to speed. So you're going to be 2-pedal driving this. This feels like a very nice, quiet, comfortable, and well-calibrated car that just so happens to be electric. Auto climate control is interesting. Kind of freaks me out a little bit the first time I use it. It makes everything auto, including the heated steering wheel, the heated seats, and the ventilated seats. So you have to go in every time you hit auto and turn all that automatic stuff off if you don't want it just blasting your bum or your back. We will put us into power mode. And all this pretty much does is just give you a little bit more throttle response on early tip-in. Ride quality is excellent, and handling is pretty decent too. We've got a fast steering rack, so decent turn-in. This weighs just shy of 4,500 pounds. You feel the weight. It's actually not that much lighter than some of the bigger EVs in the Toyota and Subaru lineup. Once you introduce this platform, the battery pack, they all tend to kind of weigh about the same. Pretty quiet at speed, maybe a little bit less road noise than the Trail Seeker last week because it doesn't have those big roof rails. We have lane centering, lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring. This Subaru Uncharted GT has a Harman Kardon sound system. Let's listen to it quickly and see what that's like. We've got a volume knob right here or an up-down toggle switch right here on the steering wheel. Pretty powerful bass with everything centered out. It's clear. It's a nice sound system. Brakes feel good. A lot of bite there. Let's see how it handles power distribution with a little bit of steering lock. Some traction control intervention there. What about with some things off on launch? Traction off, everything off. Bit of front wheel spin. And there's 60. Pretty quick, pretty drama-free. Those front tires had to do a little bit of clawing off the line, but for the most part, they did well. We've got lots of messages here telling us that I've turned everything off. Yes, I know. Oh yeah, so not happy with VSC off, though luckily, we do get X mode all-wheel drive at very low speeds. You have to be pretty much crawling to do snow and dirt mode. But it is nice to have that traction control capability if you're taking this off-road. Though granted, there isn't a ton of ground clearance here, just a little bit over 8 inches. Honestly, for the size of this Uncharted crossover, I was expecting it to feel a little bit more nimble, a little bit lighter, a bit more athletic. Nothing here is really standing out to me as being class leading, but it's still a very nice place to spend time day to day. There are very few pain points using and operating this car. All right, let's hit one more highway entrance ramp here. I imagine it would have much better mechanical grip on a set of less eco-focused tires, but I'm sure it needs every ounce of efficiency to get close to that 278 miles of estimated driving range, even though at 88% it's estimating that we're 195 miles until empty. And I haven't been driving this spiritedly until this video. I've been driving it around like an old grandpa. All right, so there's the Subaru Uncharted GT. I like the color. I kind of like the funky styling. Most of the time, it's a perfectly fine automobile to drive, spend time in, use, and operate. I think for some buyers, it might be a little bit cramped in the back seat, especially for families. There just isn't really enough space in this compact EV crossover space for strollers, for rear-facing child seats, all that stuff. So if you're thinking about maybe having a family soon and you want one of these, factor that into your buying decision. Maybe get a slightly larger Subaru or Toyota EV if that's your thing. Otherwise, I think that's pretty much all I have to say for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to chime in the comments. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this. And stay tuned on the Winding Road Magazine YouTube channel for more videos on this Subaru Uncharted without any talking. Substitute Topher will be hosting a POV night drive and a POV day drive on this. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.